Hello and welcome to this Festival Pro tutorial video. Today we're going to take a look at accreditation. Now everyone does accreditation slightly differently. We're going to look today at the default workflow for this, but do reach out to us and get a support ticket if you need to do something slightly different. There's a few different ways to cut this particular cookie, but today we're going to look at the standard flow and we'll look at an artist, but this applies across the board to any contact in your system. So I'm going to go and look at one of my artists here, 201 Dance Company, and if I open up profile fields under accreditation, we're going to see all of our pass types that we can issue them. This is how many that they'll be given: 1, 4, and 3 on the AAA artist and artist guest in this occasion. If you need to change these, you can do as usual in config and profile fields and accreditation. You can come in here and change those options, put in new ones, change them all around depending on the names of your passes for your event. So we'll just go back to the artist profile field again, accreditation, and yeah, so we've got 1 AAA, 4 artist passes, and 3 guest passes. Underneath you can see we also have vehicle accreditation. This works in a very similar fashion, different option names. We've got general car parking, production parking, etc. So once you've issued a certain number of passes, the next step is for them to be sent a form where they can fill in the names, and typically this is done for artists on Artist Advance. So let me just go to our artist forms, open up the settings on this Artist Advance, and here we can see we have a field which is limited to that general accreditation. Yes, this one is actually grouped with meal tickets. So let's start at the beginning of this and we'll open up the field, clicking edit, and you can see this is contact collect. This is the type of field that we're looking at, contact collect, named it accreditation. And under the field options, number of entries is limited to max general accreditation. Now if you want to limit this further so that it can only put in a certain pass type, you can do this and limit that down further, but we'll just leave this on general accreditation for now. So we'll note that the accreditation field here is in a group with meal tickets, and when something is in a group with another, it just means that is repeated a number of times. So the maximum number of general accreditation, you can put a name. For each name, you can assign meal tickets. If you wanted to collect everybody's shoe size or t-shirt size, you could say add a drop-down field here with small, extra, medium, extra large, and have that in a little drop-down. And then for each person, you also be taking that information. So that's how we do with the groups. And if we go and have a look at the registration here of somebody who has filled this in, I should find down here 201 Dance Company that we looked at earlier. We can see this in action on the form itself. And here we have that contact collect field along with the meal ticket field just here. So they're going to be able to put in a certain number of names. We can see here, if I add another, we can see that this changes. If I change artist guest, for example, the numbers down here will change to reflect that. Now if we go back to our form, have a look at this accreditation field, you'll notice there's also a ticket being generated here. We go to edit, ticketing options. As long as this is enabled, you can choose a template and then the QR codes will be generated for each person. We can have a quick look at what those tickets look like, looking at one of these registrations. And here we can see the accreditation for Victoria along with the QR code that they will be sent. Or we can go here to actions and click on view ticket. And this is just going to show us what the ticket looks like. And you can change this ticket design in that ticket template on the field itself. And you can see by default on here, it's going to pull name in, which is the accreditation type, along with putting the person's name on the ticket and their ticket code. Whether those tickets get sent out or not at this point is determined by your settings on the form where they are generated. So under here on completion, we can see our options to send these to the individuals or the main booker. It'll go along with the confirmation email. In this case, if we say individuals, that's going to be each name that is put into this contact collect here, whereas the main booker is, say, the company lead booker. So in this case, we have the tickets going to the lead booker would go to Henry Matthews. If I go into this, the name accredited is the individual, so this ticket would go to Victoria. These will only be sent if you have something in your confirmation email, so do make sure you put this filled out as well. And the tickets will be attached to that email when they receive them. And even add the tickets to your Google and Apple wallet by just adding in the code wallet to your confirmation email. And you'll need to enable a setting in config under settings, ticketing, and e-ticket wallet. So just enable that and add that code to your confirmation email. So that's the fundamentals of sending out the tickets and assigning them, just making sure that people have got the right accreditation and you've got one of those fields set up on the form and they can submit their names and have all of their tickets come through with QR codes that you can then scan upon entry. Now let's have a look at the accreditation dashboard. We go dashboard accreditation. Here we can either go directly to the search or to a dashboard which allows us to add some widgets. So here you can see the type of pass. These are based on your options or accreditation fields. The max accredited, this is how many passes you've issued. So I put 144 total in AAA boxes. Allocated to individuals, this is how many people have visited the form and actually taken their allocation and put names against them. And then scanned is obviously how many of these tickets have been scanned in on the day. Now I'm going to add in here the accreditation search. You can see here the accreditation search bar. You can have this on your dashboard, or you can indeed go accreditation search. Quite often people will bookmark this as a home page or have this set up on a laptop in the box office. And this just allows us to check individual tickets in. So we can either search for the organization, so we can search for 201, and here we can see all of the tickets that have been assigned or accredited against people on forms. So if someone comes up and they say they have lost their pass or their ticket, you're able to search their name and find them. You can then manually mark them in as scanned if you like. If somebody comes through and you don't have the organization, you can just search for the contact directly. If I look at Robin Hood here, the one we just scanned, and we run a search for Robin, here we can see his pass, and you can see the time and date that it was scanned in. So as you're scanning people in with scanners, if you need to find out if someone's arrived on site yet, you can always search their name and see when they were scanned in or if they're yet to arrive. You can also use this section to resend tickets to somebody. So again, if I search for 201 Dance Company, we can see here we can either resend all the tickets to the people of these forms or resend to the individuals. And that's just as simple as pressing this button here. And here you can see it said it's sent. Or you can click on view, allowing you to view those tickets directly on the screen. Once we get to site, you'll be looking at getting the scanners up and running. And you can find some guidance on how to do this under our support help guide. If you download the Festival Pro scanner app, either the Play Store or the Apple Store, when you log in, you'll be greeted with a screen a little something like this. And we want to put in our scanner user password, and then your site will just be the beginning of your domain. So your festival.festivalpro.com, you'll just put your festival in here, not the .festivalpro.com section. And you can go into the documentation and find out more on how you set up the events to scan. You can limit them down, choose certain tickets that can be scanned with the scanner. But to log into that, you are going to have to set up a scanner user. For this, you want to be in config. From here, you can click on add new, and you just put in the username and password that you're going to use in the scanner. And you want to set the access level to scanner. You can see here my example one, scanner, access level scanner. Doesn't really matter about the name. You can use one scanner user to log into multiple scanner devices. So you need only have one unless you've got different gates that need to be restricted differently. which case you would just set up multiple scanner users and just change the username so then unique scanner 1, scanner 2, the name of your gate, whatever it might be. Just make sure the scanner names are unique, and then you can have as many of those as you need, or you can just have one that is logged in. If you've got multiple of them, you can check the reports. There's a scan log in there that will show you the different ones that are coming through on different scan points. So I hope this video has been helpful for you. Just a short recap. We just looked at how we can take a contact in the platform, assign them a certain level of accreditation, ensure that on a form we set up the field correctly, just ensuring that we've got a contact collect field which is limited to the general accreditation type. And then when we send that form out, the contact is going to be able to put in their names, which will generate tickets if you've enabled tickets against them. And the options then you have for checking your accreditation dashboard with the numbers that are allocated and being able to check and search for anybody who maybe hasn't got their ticket or has a ticketing issue. And then also have to set up a scanner user to make sure that you can scan these things on the end. As I said at the beginning, there are many ways to do accreditation, and this is just our default pathway. But please do reach out to us if you need something a little bit different, and we can sit down on a call and see how we can set that up together.